It has saved us thousands of dollars at this point in our career, just by this one simple process that we put into the front end and back end of every project. It's real easy to systematize. And once you get into the habit of doing it, it will save your ass so many times. Are you wrapping cars more than 12 hours a day, every day? Working nonstop but can barely get by? Burnout, missing deadlines, and wondering just how much longer you can keep this up?
That was us too. We started our wrap shop buried under $250,000 in debt, and it felt absolutely impossible. But we dug out, built a profitable shop, and are still in the trenches of owning and operating a wrap shop. We're here to share what we learned along the way so that you don't make the same mistakes that we did.
And we're here to help you with the business side of the wraps, like pricing, building a team, streamlining your systems, ultimately so that you can run your shop and your shop stops running you.
Welcome to the Wrap Ops Podcast, brought to you by Wrap Fam Unleashed.
All right, guys, welcome back to Wrap Ops, the podcast. It is just me today. As many of you guys know that have been following along, Tanner and I just recently had a baby, and she is still very much in her maternity window. So I will be rocking this one today with you guys. Should be short, quick, to the point. This is specifically for those of you that are out there that have ever been blamed for damage on a vehicle, for a customer vehicle, or just kind of left on the hook because it was a he said, she said, and you guys are just kind of pointing fingers at who is responsible for that damage. That is who I am talking to today, and we will be going over the power of a proper pre and post inspection. It has saved us just so many, probably thousands of dollars at this point in our career, just by this one simple process that we put into the front end and back end of every project. It's real easy to systematize. And once you get into the habit of doing it, it will save your ass so many times. So cool. Let's get right into it. So first things first, let's just talk about what the purpose of a pre and post inspection is. It is simply to document the vehicle as it is, as it comes into your shop, and then document it again as is, as it leaves your shop, to confirm that, if that turn signal wasn't broken when it came in, make sure that it is still working when it leaves. And then on the flip side to that, if something isn't working when it comes in, it covers your ass for when they come to pick up. And then maybe that's the first time they've noticed it. So our process specifically is a customer comes in, they drop off their vehicle, they sign their the pre-inspection form, or their drop-off form, whatever you want to call it. And the next step, so before we get in the car, before we touch the vehicle, we document all four sides of the vehicle. We document the dash. As soon as we get in the vehicle and we turn it on, we'll take a picture of that dashboard, and then we'll pull it inside, park it, and go through an excessive damage inspection. And that's where we're literally trying to find something. Kind of rule of thumb is if you can't find something in the excessive damage part of our pre-inspection, then you're not looking hard enough. Because as we all know, even brand new vehicles right off the lot, there's damage somewhere, whether that's rock chips on the front bumper, on the hood, or somewhere in that effect, most likely. And that is, again, I kind of went over it quickly there, is we do not touch the car without taking 4 photos, minimally, one of each side of the vehicle. Before we touch it, before we bring it inside, I can tell you a story literally moments before. So I'll give Tanner her credit. She helped kind of outline this episode, give me a topic to talk about, but legitimately 7 minutes before she sent me over the outline to talk about pre and post inspection, we had a customer pick up. It's a very large fleet that we service. Relatively, it's like a customer we've always had, but they ended up selling. So we're kind of working with kind of a mix or a different team, as you will. There's some of the old employees that are still there, but there's a lot of new faces now that it's under new ownership. And they picked up their new van. It's kind of a new design. As you guys know, any type of merger or acquisition kind of leads to a rebrand. Anyway, I literally just was outside with a customer, our front desk and I, walking around the vehicle as they pointed at 4 different spots on the vehicle that were dented and clearly damaged. First thing we did, we immediately pulled out our pre-inspection, and clear as day, you can see that damage from when we picked it up. And the key to that is before we touched it, while it was still in the street where they had parked it originally, we took those pictures. And then bonus points on how quickly you can minimize that gap from drop off to those original pictures being documented. Didn't have to come up in that story I just told you, but nonetheless, if they drop off and you take a picture 2 or 3 days later, there's 2 or 3 days of gray area there. But if it's within minutes, or maybe an hour or so, it's a lot less gray area to get in that argument. And the particular customer interaction I was just talking about, time we even got to the 4th dent that he was pointing out, he didn't even really care about our pre-inspection anymore. He just immediately knew it wasn't us, was super comfortable, happy, understood that it wasn't us. And he was like, it is what it is. As I would say to all of our team, and the importance of documenting it is, this customer is spending thousands of dollars on working with you for this vehicle wrap. They probably haven't noticed the imperfections that once you put a brand new wrap on it, after someone comes out of pocket, a significant amount, that they then start noticing. So cover your ass, take those pre-inspection photos before you ever touch the vehicle, before you bring it in. And once it's inside again, we do that excessive damage kind of look around where we're trying to find every imperfection. It takes, legitimately, guys, it takes 10 minutes. It's not a big ask. It's not a big to-do. Part of our inspection as well is we do check the lights. So we'll check headlights, fog lights, turn signals, and any of the kind of running lights or amber lights, fog lights, third brake lights, and then anything else that needs to function really. So the reverse lights, we'll check the windows, make sure the windows are going up and down properly. And as far as kind of the hardware check goes, we'll document the mileage. We'll, again, we take a picture of that dash, but we document what lights are on, if any are on. And yeah, those are kind of the main things that we focus before we kind of go into some additional things with this on what happens when we do break something, how often does things break, and what happens if, it wasn't on the report and something comes up. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Let's give a few moments here to shout out our sponsors. We are so thankful for them. They help make sure that this continues on. So while they are talking to you for a minute, or while we talk to you about them for a minute, please subscribe, share this with a friend that needs a pre and post inspection process. After years of running a wrap shop, I've learned this. Your supplier should be a partner, not a question mark. That's why we trust Grimco. For over 5 years now, they have delivered on time and backed us when it mattered most. There's enough to manage in this business. Your supplier should not be one of them. Set up your new account today. Use code WRAPOPS5 for 5% off your first order with Grimco. All right, welcome back to our episode specifically on that pre and post inspection and the importance of. So, what to do when someone says something is damaged? Easy. The quickest and first thing you're going to do is, okay, we see that too. Let's check the pre-inspection and confirm whether that was here when it showed up or not. And simple as that, you literally pull out your pre-inspection form. This, for us, we've created kind of a standard PDF template, and then have that within kind of a note-taking app that we use internally for our pre-inspection. If it is as bare bones as you're just taking pictures with your phone, that's fine, especially iPhone and stuff. It'll timestamp and document those things. That's not super official as far as getting that done and getting client signature. But again, the goal is just to have one. That's step one. You can polish it and make it better as you go. But I cannot stress to you enough how much you need to have one. And then, in addition to just having one in general, the amount of people that have those, hey, you damaged this, goes just so drastically down when they come in and sign. I cannot express that enough. But anyway, kind of going on a tangent there. So when someone says something is damaged, the first thing you're going to do is go to that pre-inspection, ideally with them, not like, oh, let me get back to you, but like in the moment, let's immediately pull up the photos, pinch and zoom, do your thing, to see if you can't find that damage, and then obviously immediately show them of just, I hate that that's damaged, but unfortunately, that was not done here. That would have been already like that when you showed up. Hope that helps to at least timestamp that the damage was done beforehand. The other side to that is, what do you do when the damage isn't on the report, or if someone forgets to do the pre and post inspection when someone documents the damage? For us, the first thing I'm going to do if someone forgot to do the paperwork, which is pretty rare at this point, admittedly, that is a metric that as a team we track every single week to confirm that all of our paperwork and stuff was done to its completeness. But in the event that someone didn't fill it out, didn't get that final post-inspection picture or something along those lines, the first thing I do is go to our security cameras. They don't always catch everything, but that's going to be my first shot in the dark to try to find the footage of that on my cameras. Hopefully I find something. And then outside of that, admittedly, it's kind of an open conversation with the customer. The goal, at least internally for our shop, is that I don't want any customer to feel a type of way. I'm not willing to tarnish a relationship with a customer or potentially be badmouthed by a customer talking to other potential customers, for a few $100 or even $1,000, honestly. So if we didn't document it and we kind of messed that part of our process up, we eat it. I would say in the 10 years that we've been doing this, honestly, only like maybe once or twice ever has there been debatable damage that wasn't properly documented, and we just had to eat it, whether that was, paying for it and then or whatever. But anyway, we are very much on the customer service side of, if there is a reasonable doubt that it was our fault, then we try to take ownership of that and just make it right, because the most valuable thing to us is that relationship with the customer and then that potential referral that customer can give. So to be real with you guys, that's how we are when we break clips and all of that and stuff as well. So kind of goes hand in hand. You're documenting the pre-inspection and post-inspection, but you're also you have to hold yourself accountable for when there is something that you break. And let's be honest, guys, like things break. Like you'll, if you're still a torch wrapper out there, I'm sure you guys have all had the situation where torch got a little too hot and maybe that did a little damage. Maybe that burned out a headlight or something like that. We had that. This was actually done with a heat gun, so it's actually kind of obnoxious how much heat you would have to apply to damage a headlight with a heat gun. But nonetheless, we had a new hire that was just doing in some post heating and ended up burning up a headlight. That costed me $175 or something along those lines, and we replaced the headlight. Told the customer, because it delayed the pickup date by I think like a day or two with shipping, and it was just, hey, completely our fault. We damaged your headlight. Didn't notice it in the moment, but upon further review, this clearly wasn't here in the pre-inspection. And when doing the post-inspection, we caught it. It's our fault. We've ordered the headlight. We're replacing it for you. But headlight doesn't get here till tomorrow. And then that's just how we have to handle it. I have numerous of stories along those lines where when we break something, we have to just own it and make it right. Buy the clip, buy the part, whatever it is. Obviously, the more volume you do, there's going to be a percentage of that volume of work that just, something happens. It's just part of the job, and we really stand by our customer service. So when something breaks on our dime, we fix it. It's not like every week something is breaking by any means, but nonetheless, when it breaks, we fix it. So that is kind of the biggest thing I wanted to talk about today. Again, that kind of story that just happened 7 minutes ago is kind of wild. but numerous times at this point now is the one thing I want to bring home is before we did a pre and post inspection, I swear it was every week a customer was pointing something out and trying to blame us for it. Once we started doing regular pre and post inspections, I would say that number drastically, 80% of people then no longer asked because they signed off on it. They knew we do the pre-inspections, the post-inspections. They don't even ask anymore. They just kind of know and assume and trust us that it didn't happen on our watch. But that small percentage that does ask, the pre-inspection has saved us thousands of dollars because, like I said earlier, the customer is spending thousands of dollars on a wrap. Now that spot that's dented and just messed up is now very noticeable because what you just touched looks brand new, like it came off a showroom floor. The rest of it does not. So those dents and dings are much more noticeable once you're done with your work, especially to the customer that's spending thousands of dollars with you. So that's pretty much it. Just the importance of that pre and post inspection. If you have other kind of questions in regards to how we do it or how you should do it, definitely reach out. So you can go to our website and there's kind of a contact form. We definitely want to hear your questions. We may make other posts, other podcasts about it. And like us on Instagram, Facebook, subscribe. If you're, however you are watching this now, so Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and please share this with a friend. That would mean the world to us. Until next time, thanks for tuning in. The Wrap Institute, the largest online wrap training platform, now with a special offer. Use our code WRAPOPS15 for 15% off your order.